So this guy managed to build a secret online empire worth over $1 billion. And he did it all while sitting in his sweatpants, eating cereal in a cheap apartment. His name was Ross Ulbricht, but on the dark web, he went by a much cooler, much more cinematic name, the Dread Pirate Roberts. Ross created a website called the Silk Road. Think of it like Amazon, but instead of ordering a cute phone case or a blender, people were using Bitcoin to buy illegal substances, hacked data, and fake passports. It was the digital Wild West, and Ross was the undisputed king. Allegedly. For over 2 years, the FBI, the DEA, and the IRS were losing their absolute minds trying to track him down. They'd trace an IP address and it would bounce from a server in Iceland to a proxy in Russia, then completely vanish into the dark web abyss. Ross was a ghost in the machine. But the feds finally caught a break. Through some old-school detective work and an undercover agent infiltrating his inner circle, they figured out his real identity. They knew exactly who he was, and they knew he was living under a fake name in San Francisco. Case closed, right? Just go kick his door down. Wrong, because Ross wasn't just a king, he was a paranoid king. He had his laptop set up with a kill switch encryption system. If he heard a flashbang, if his door rattled, or if he even slammed his laptop shut, the computer would instantly lock down and wipe the encryption keys. All the evidence would turn into scrambled, unreadable digital garbage forever. The FBI realized they had a massive problem. They couldn't raid his house, they couldn't corner him in an alley. They had to catch him completely off guard, out in the open, with his laptop wide open, logged into the master admin panel of his billion-dollar empire. Talk about a stressful workday for the feds. So, on October 1st, 2013, Ross walks into a perfectly normal, quiet public library in San Francisco. He goes upstairs to the sci-fi section, sits at a table, opens his laptop, connects to the free library Wi-Fi, and logs in as the Dread Pirate Roberts. A billion-dollar cyber empire running on public library internet. Incredible! Unbeknownst to Ross, the library was absolutely crawling with undercover agents disguised as hipsters and bookworms. But they couldn't just run up and tackle him. If he saw them coming, he'd press one button and boom, evidence gone.
They needed a distraction. Something loud, something weird. Right behind Ross's desk, 2 undercover agents, a man and a woman, suddenly start screaming at each other. A full-blown, incredibly dramatic, chaotic lover's quarrel, right in the middle of the quiet library. They're yelling, throwing hands in the air, creating an absolute scene. And it worked perfectly. Ross does exactly what any normal person would do. He stops typing, turns his head around completely, and stares at the chaos to see what the hell's happening. And the exact second his eyes leave his screen, a third undercover agent rushes in from the side, snatches the wide-open, fully unencrypted laptop right out from under his nose, and hands it off to a cyber specialist who immediately copies all the files. The king of the dark web was taken down by a fake relationship drama. Ross was sentenced to double life in prison without parole, and the Fed seized over 144,000 Bitcoin. Let me know in the comments. If you were running a billion-dollar illegal empire, would you trust public library Wi-Fi? Hit that follow button for more crazy true crime stories.